Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome to day 72 of 100 days of envelope ideas for junk journals. We are doing the 100-day project, and I have a whole bunch of envelopes to use up. If you're new here, that's what we're doing. And for the last few days, we've been doing Edith Holden, tribute to Edith Holden in this series, because I couldn't go the entire series without mentioning one of our favorite things or books to use in junk journaling, which is Edith Holden. So we've done a few pages. We did 4 envelopes, and today will be the 5th and the last one. We did the orange and yellow. We did those first 2. This one has a little pocket. And then we did pink and blue. And what I'm using are the attic papers from my vintage collections in my Etsy shop. And we are picking up the color theme using the attic papers, and then going through the Edith Holden book to find some of her artwork that goes with that color theme. So here we picked up the yellows and the orange, and here we picked up the pink and the blues. And now today I told you we're going to do purple. This is the Sugar Plum collection. I've done one side because like I said, we're just going to do one more instead of 2 more days, just one more day. So I wanted to do both sides. So I've already done one, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So first of all, let me show you the project that we're going to do, and then I'll show you how I made this piece right here. So where can I set that? Right there, I guess. So what we have is, using our envelope, I've made a flip out like that, and then underneath is the envelope itself, which is a pocket. Now this one I accidentally glued, got some glue in the middle of the envelope, so the pocket isn't working, but we'll make sure the pocket works on the one we're going to do today. So we did this flip out, and these are all papers from the Sugar Plum kit. So this piece here, I've made 2, and basically what I did was I started with some of the attic paper, for example, something like this, and then I added, actually let me back up. What I did was I took a page like this, and then I cut it in 2 so that I basically had this item as one subject and this item as another subject for a tag. So this page, I just found a page that had purple, first of all, because that's the color theme right now. So if you see this background page here and here, the clover, those were from the same page. I can't remember the page number, but I'm sure if you find the clover, you'll see that this and this was all on one page. So I just cut it down the middle to make these 2. I started out wanting to make tags, and then I thought of this idea. So what I've done, I cut those 2 pieces first, and then I took a solid color. So this is just scrapbook paper, and I did a solid piece behind the Edith Holden paper page, and then behind that I added the attic paper. So I broke up the pattern with a solid, and then Edith Holden, and then I added a Tim Holtz dolly, and then an embellishment. So that's how I made those. So this very back piece is the attic paper, and then sandwiched in the middle is the scrapbook paper, and then this background that I'm using behind the person is an Edith Holden page. So another way to use Edith Holden pages as backgrounds on your tags or your journal spread or whatever you are thinking there. So today we're just going to do the same thing. I'll show you how I made this flip out. So you could add something there. You could do a piece of writing paper to make like a list spot for a journaling spot. You could add more pockets, whatever you like. But basically we want to flip this over so that, and fold the flap back so that we have this pocket, side tuck pocket to use for the envelope. And the flap is folded back because we're going to sandwich this, the flap between this thing we made and another piece of paper. And then we'll decorate that, and this gets glued down. So I like to do is this side is getting glued down, so we don't need to decorate that. But this one I definitely want to glue the flap down, sandwich that, and decorate that. Okay, so let's begin with that part. Let me cut a piece for I think I want to use this one. These guys out of the way. So I know my envelope is 5 by 7, so I'm going to start with a piece that's 5 wide. And then we'll glue it on and we'll trim off the excess. So it says 5 inches wide for my envelope. Just going to do this with a pencil. I could glue it first and then trim it, but I'm going to take a guess that that's okay. And then for the flap, I need something to cover the back of this to sandwich in between. So that's my next cut line. Hopefully that's correct. Okay. So you get glued down. So we'll put you face down. This is the flap where I'm going to sandwich this. Now this is the same height as my book. So I'm just going to center this right on here by eye. And it will get glued down into the book to however this fits on the page. So let's start by gluing this. Oop. Maybe it's easier to go this way. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if that's centered or not, but it looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with that. And then I want to sandwich this piece on the back. Just like that. Glue right over top of the flap. Look at that big mess I did. So I don't know what is going on with me lately, but I know I have like a few journals on the go that I have yet to complete. My Easter journal, the 2 bunny journals are just not quite finished, but I'm itching to start another journal. I think it's these attic papers that just really have me excited to start another journal. I don't even have a theme in mind. I'm just excited to, I'm also been itching to make a new kit. So I have a lot. My brain is just flying right now because I have a couple videos to complete, a contest. I'm watching to see what happens with Canada Post. They might strike again because I'm just about ready to sell all my journals and now that I have currently, and gosh darn it, Canada Post sounds like they might strike again. Such a pain. The world is just crazy these days. Crazy. Crazy town. I'm learning to trust that everything happens for a reason. Everything is as it's meant to be. Trying anyway. My shaky, trying very hard because that does not come naturally to me. I'm usually pretty pessimistic, but I'm trying not to be. My daughter is certainly a big influence on me on trying to have a better outlook. She's amazing that way. Okay, so see how I have white space showing? I think I might just trim that a little and ink the rest. Let's get this glue dry. Like right, let's ink it first and see. Oh, that might do it. We'll just ink it. Might be fine with that. It's the inside anyway. So I posed the question, where the beginning of junk journal, when was that the phrase or the term junk journal coined? Like, when did that start? And I recall trying to figure this out before, or learning about this before, and how there's nothing specific. It's not like Smash Book. Like there's a brand name of a book, a Smash Book, and then it's just become a general term. I'm not sure if the general term came first and then someone added it to their product, or if the product came first. And then like Kleenex, like tissue. Kleenex is a brand name, but we always call it Kleenex regardless of the brand. I feel sorry for other brands, but that's just how it goes. Okay. So now we just need to glue down this part, and don't get glue on the inside. That's the mistake I made. So I'm just going to cover this a little bit. Anyways, I mean, there's a few people who have done videos about this, and if you Google search, you'll get the same. Someone's in the comments suggested the same thing, like just Google search it, and it's pretty interesting. So they go back and talking about scrapbooking in the 1800s, and then diaries when they became popular, and in the 20th century. But I mean, obviously Edith Holden was keeping a diary way back when. So now this we just glue down into the book so that the page fits my flap or fold out. There. Like this. So that we have a side pocket. A side loading pocket. So yeah, it was really interesting. House of Malo did a post about it, like a blog post. I think it's a blog post. Anyway. Okay. I like it. So we've got this flap, and then you have that pocket, side loading pocket. So let's just add a couple things here. I think a few of the Edith Holden things I cut out. There's that one. There's this one. Well, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Just to do that research. And I mean, it's quite a rabbit hole we could go down on that, but it is interesting. But I do remember, and this is something that came to mind somewhere along the way. I remember someone saying, oh, it's just like back in the, and I think it was the 90s, I'm not sure, where they started out with some sort of a scrapbook or a journal, and then they gave it to a friend, and that friend would add something to it or decorate a page or something, and then it would go, the book would then go to the next friend, and so on until eventually, say you had a group of 6 friends, so 6 page spreads would get done by your friends in your book, and then your book would come back to you. In the meantime, everybody's books are getting shared like that, so everybody ends up with 6 pages done, and you yourself have contributed to all, you plus the other 5 people, you've added stuff to their book. So I kind of think that's a neat idea, and there's a name for it. And does anybody know what I'm talking about? I think I've got it right. I think that's the premise of it. If you know what I'm talking about and what it's called, they had a name for it. And they were saying, oh, junk journals. They were saying that junk journals was, that they started, not that they started junk journals, but they started doing that craft, and junk journals is a takeoff from, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, and I cannot remember, and it was, I think it was US, in the United States. I'm not sure. Does anybody recall that? Does that sound familiar at all? Well, that's cute. What else did we have? Do some sort of we should cut that bottom part off. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I'm going to trim this right off. You're going to go there, and I think we'll just take that piece off. We'll glue this on the inside like it's a pocket. Okay. So I'm going to try it. It might be a little rough, but we'll see if this works. Well, I'm kind of sad that this is the end of the Edith Holden part of this book. But it is time to move on to something new. And I like the idea of doing a tag. I really wanted to do that with this. I feel like that's a little too tall. Oh. Oh, he's cute on there, isn't he? if you wanted to do some layering, but I think I'll save him for another project. Okay, let's just get this on here. It's going to be hard to ink because it's pretty fragile. Let me just see if I can. Start with that. Okay, I'll just trim those off and trim off the bottom. I like that. Okay. Either way. Well, there we go. Well, this concludes our Edith Holden tribute, let's call it, to our envelope series. I'm sad that it's over. Oh. And thank you everyone for the love you showed for Edith and her beautiful work. While I have my Edith book out and all of these cuts, end cuts and such, I'm going to make a bunch of hidden paper clips, I think. And maybe just some ephemera while I have those pieces out that are all cut. So, for example, when I was fussy cutting some of those things, these bits here, like this, I can incorporate into a hidden paper clip. And I think that because it's such a special book and we talk about, you know, our hesitation to cut it up, I want to really upcycle this book as much as I can. So even something like this as a cutoff, I just thought it would be nice to be able to, oh, look at that. That's a little verse. It'd be cute there or down here even. Yeah. Oh, well, too late. But that would be really cute as a, like a hidden paper clip or something. So I hope to work on those tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right. Well, there we have it. So this was day 71, right? 71? Let's double check. Nope, it's 72. Day 72. And that is our final, that is day 5 of our part 5 of Edith Holden. So with the Sugar Plum Attic Papers. Okay, well, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow with another project, and we are going to continue with the Attic Papers while they're still on sale. And this is my absolute favorite. This is called Perfect Patina. This is my absolute favorite out of the Attic Papers kit. There's a wallet, a paper wallet kit that I used Perfect Patina for. Yeah, this is a staple for me. I love this set right here. This is, to me, is vintage junk journal at its finest. I love these papers. Can't say enough about them. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.